and it's also a matter of not just aesthetically, but also having the cardiovascular endurance to safely take care of your partner as you're working through a match. Because, hey man, accidents happen, but don't lend to the possible catastrophic circumstances because you're not in shape, because you're tired, you know. If you drop somebody on their head because you're tired, that's unforgivable. You know, that's unforgivable.
Are you guys expected to like be able to lift a certain amount of weight?
No, you know, I'll say this. I remember a long time ago when John Cena was still the U.S. champion, before they pulled the trigger on him. I was backstage, and I went and I asked him for some advice. And he made a great point. He said, listen, dude, when you come out, there's no graphic next to your name that says how much you squat, how much you bench. You know, he said, you don't have to be strong. You just have to look strong. And I was like, oh, yeah. Now, granted, John Cena was. I mean, I don't know now. His training regimen has changed a lot, I'm sure, because of Hollywood. But back in the day, like, I remember when he picked up Big Show and Edge, like, dude was sick with the strength. So he looked strong and was strong. But, you know, there are some guys that don't look like they can beat anybody, you know. And for me, you know, that the suspension of disbelief sometimes is like, wait a minute, you know. But when you see Rey Mysterio in there with the Big Show, you think, this shouldn't happen. But Rey Mysterio is one of the all-time greats. So again, I say, don't compare yourself to an all-time great, but that's something else. Like Mick Foley. People used to give Mick Foley a lot because of his physical condition. But Mick Foley could go. Mick Foley could turn in the time. Mick Foley wasn't hurting people. And if Mick Foley was hurting himself, you know. But like I said, this comes back to, you know, like mixed martial arts. You know, you look at the Super Samoan. Gosh, I can't think of his name right now. It's killing me. But he's a knockout artist. You know, he's kind of like along the lines of Samoa Joe. You look at him, and he looks kind of fleshy, and you know he doesn't look like an elite level athlete, but that dude's an elite former Pride champion, elite level striker. So, you know, it just comes down to taking care of yourself and making sure ultimately that you are in shape to take care of the person you're in the ring with. You know, it is an aesthetic business. It always has been, and to an extent, it always will be. And, you know, you want to present the best version of you for the masses to consume. At least that's my opinion. And all of this is my opinion based on my over 20 years of experience. You know, I might know a thing or two. I've been making a living in this business a long time. You can debate me, but it takes two to debate. So if you haven't made any money in this business, then I'll just dismiss your opinion. You know?